Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Christopher Aaron. It is February 3rd, 2026. We are going to answer the question, is the gold crash over? And what to expect now going forward. Last Friday was an extremely dramatic day in the precious metals markets. Gold was down by over $1,000 in 24 hours. Silver lost over $35. So we're going to answer the question, is the gold crash over, and now what to expect? It was great to meet you. If you came out to say hi at the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference, you know who you are. It was great to see you. That was a wonderful conference. The other thing that we're going to do in this video, I'm going to show you how you can double your money in gold right now in a gold-related investment. This is what I'm doing with my own money. The way that I am doing that, I'm going to share it with you for free, is in a company that I am investing in. It is called Sila Gold Corp. And you can see the ticker right here, SYG in Canada, SYGCF in the United States. We have a 120% starting profit on Sila Gold Corp just to start if you join us in investing in the SYLLA private placement investment. Yes, this is for real. No, this is not a scam. Yes, this is the starting profit that we have. We are doubling our money right now. Just want to let you know they are not paying me to say this. This is not my business model to take fees or kickbacks from these companies. My business model is different. I hope you'll find value in the research, and then I hope you'll choose to join us in investing in these companies because this is where I'm putting my own money. All right, let's talk about, is the gold crash over? Here is the gold chart looking at the last year. And what we want to talk about is the fact that we have a very clear rising trend of resistance. In other words, where were the sellers showing up over the course of the last year? We can see that. And then we take a look at here at where the buyers were showing up over the last year. Look at how clear this is. Very, very clear to notice the pattern where both the buyers and the sellers are showing up, right? And then what did we have? Here over just the last month, basically a false breakout on the higher side and then a false breakdown on the lower side. That was the crash I was talking about. Gold was down by over $1,000 in about 24 hours. But look at where the buyers stepped in here, right along this existing trend of buying pressure coming in every several weeks, every several months. And so when we look at the gold chart in sum, we are back into this pattern, right? This rising wedge, this rising triangle. We are back into this pattern. Now, I have other macro indicators that I am studying in the background that are telling me that this support here is going to continue holding. And the resistance right now, this upper band will come in at exactly 4,900. Notice that gold closed today slightly above that resistance. So that is very constructive to see. What I think we're going to witness here, let's call it over the next several days, is just a slight pullback here. The next 2 or 3 days should find support above 47, 4,800. Slight pullback. And then the weight of the evidence shows me that gold is going to be rounding upward again. And basically, it's going to start carving out a new consolidation pattern, but this time above the former resistance, above this resistance level going back to April of last year. So I think gold is going to carve out a new pattern here above the 4,900 level over the next several months, and then it's going to make its assault at the former all-time high, that 5,600 figure from last week, and it's going to make a new all-time high as we get into the middle part of this year. This is what the sum of the evidence is showing me for physical gold itself. Now, you're not going to double your money on physical gold itself overnight or over the next couple of months, but I do think when we fast forward later this year into next year, I do think the next place that gold is going is into the $7,000 to $10,000 per ounce range. So this should be a nice gain. I mean, from 5,000 to 7,000, 5,000 to 10,000, anywhere in this range is going to be an extremely healthy gold price environment. So this is physical gold itself. Now what I want to show you is how you can double your money in a gold investment right now. This is what I'm doing with my own money. Remember, they're not paying me to say this. What I'm doing is I'm investing into a gold mining company called Sila Gold Corp. And you can see the ticker right here, SYG in Canada, SYGCF in the United States. Let's talk about how I am doubling my money in Sila Gold right now. We have negotiated to buy shares at 5 cents per share with the SYLLA management. We are locked in at 5 cents. The company is currently trading at 8 cents per share, okay, in the open market. Now, the difference between 5 and 8, this is a 60% gain just to start, and we are locked in at the 5 cents per share for the next 3 days. This is a 60% gain to start. However, they are also giving us for free, by investing in this company, a full warrant, which is also exercisable at 5 cents, thus resulting in another 60% gain. And so our total gain to start, just to get off the bat, I mean, this could go 2, 3, 4x higher over the next couple of years. But just to start, we are at 120% gain, more than doubling our money on the minimum investment, which is $10,000 Canadian. If you would like to join us in the private placement, the profit is $12,000 Canadian just to start. I'm not joking about this. This is how I invest my own money. This is how I've changed the course of my life by doing investments like this. I have subscribers to our service coming up to me every single day saying they're getting ready to retire. They no longer have to work their job. They're paying off their mortgage. They're buying a second house. This is how we are doing it. I want you to think about having the opportunity to change your life here now and over the next several years. Remember, to do this, to lock in that $12,000 profit to start, you've got to invest the minimum, which is $10,000 Canadian, about $7,000 US. If you're not ready to invest that amount, let's say you only wanted to invest a few hundred or a few $1,000s, I would buy shares in the open market. You use these tickers right here because I think Sila Gold Corp is going a lot higher over the next several years. However, if you're ready to invest that minimum, $10,000 Canadian, you really should be joining us in the private placement. The deadline to register is this Thursday, February 5th. Okay, let's talk about the actual fundamentals and what is going on, why this company should be so valuable as gold crosses above $5,000 per ounce. The company has the flagship deposit. It's called Niuleni, right here in Mali, West Africa. Okay, this is the southern part of Mali. Now, this is a very prolific mining jurisdiction. Look at how many major mines are all located in this region in southern Mali. This is a very familiar territory for gold mining. And if you want to add up the sum of all the gold that is just in this area, just in this Birimian greenstone belt in southern Mali, there's over 26 million ounces of gold. Look, from large cap gold mining companies. Barrick Gold, one of the largest gold mining companies on earth, has 9 million ounces in southern Mali. B2 Gold, another large cap company, has 5.7. IM Gold is another large producer. They have almost 3 million ounces. In sum, there are 26.2 million ounces in southern Mali. And I think that Sila Gold is going to have the next major discovery in southern Mali. Okay, let's talk about the discovery. Now, this map can look a little bit confusing, but you really have to take a moment to look at this. I'm going to explain to you exactly what's happening here so you can understand this investment and how we are doubling our money just to start. Okay. This is the border. You can see the border right here between Mali and Guinea. Okay, so they're in the southern part of Mali where there's all those other mines. This right here is the property of Sila Gold, the Niuleni project. The total value of Sila Gold right now is $2.1 million. This is the market cap, okay? Now, they've already done a lot of drilling on Niuleni, so this is not a new project. We're going to talk about the drilling that they've already done in just a moment. This is the key, though. You have to look at this map and you have to realize that Sila Gold's property is literally touching the property of a much larger company called Tubani Gold. Tubani Gold has a project called the Kobata Project, which is a 2.2 million ounce gold deposit. And the value of Kobata, owned by Tubani, which is touching SYLLA, is $210 million. In other words, this project right here, the Kobata Gold Project, is worth 100 times the value of SYLLA, okay? And SYLLA is touching this property. Think about if SYLLA were to be revalued to anywhere in the region of this Tubani Gold, you would have a 100x on your investment. Now, the thing to understand is this is not a new project here. Look at all the drilling that has already been done on SYLLA. They have gold in the ground. We know that they already have gold in the ground. And the difference between this value and this value is 100x at the market cap that we are getting into. Look at the drilling that they've already done. 36 grams per ton over 3 meters. This is very high grade. These are some of the historical drill intercepts that have been done on SYLLA's project. Look at some of the other drill intercepts here. 4.4 grams per ton over 6 meters. 12 grams per ton over 2 meters. So there's like a high-grade vein in here. You can see that amidst a lot of other gold. 1.87 grams per ton over 17 meters. 1.9 grams per ton over 20 meters. Look at this hole, nearly 5 grams per ton over 15 meters. And then we look at some of the other intercepts on this side, 6 grams per ton over 18 meters. Here's another high-grade one, 17.6 grams per ton over 2 meters. So that's that high-grade vein that they have here at the flagship Niuleni project. Then we look at this, 5 grams per ton over 25 meters. I mean, that's over 100 gram meters right there when you multiply out the grams per ton by the meters. So what I'm trying to say here is we know that there is gold in the ground at SYLLA's Niuleni project. This is the one that we're investing in. It's only a question of how much gold in the ground is there. If we were to do the math on these intercepts right now, I would estimate that there's about 200 to 300,000 ounces of gold in the ground. And they're going to be doing more drilling this year. They're going to be do more drilling next year, 2027. It is not unrealistic to think that over the course of the next 2 to 3 years, SYLLA could have 1 to 2 million ounces of gold in the ground when they do several more drilling programs. And again, to talk about the difference in market cap, Tubani has a 100x value compared to SYLLA right now. That's the type of gain that we want to try to achieve over the next several years. That's not all. I just want to show you one other thing. Up here in this corner is another company called Cora Gold that has the Sanankoro project. This is over a 1 million ounce deposit, and the market cap of Cora Gold is 70 million. And you can see that this trend here extends onto Sila Gold's property here on the eastern side of the property. Follow my mouse right there. So in sum, there are you add it all together, there's over 3 million ounces of gold right here immediately adjacent to Sila. And this is the one that we want to invest in to try to get the re-rating over the coming years. I'll say one other thing. This is a clear buyout candidate from Tubani. Tubani, let's talk about Tubani here. They have already received a $400 million funding package to put Kobata into production. And their estimated timeline for when they will begin production is Q3 of 2027. So go back to the map here with me and remember, if they're going to put this project into production and they've already received funding, the companies that are supplying the funding for them already believe in this project enough to say, yes, let's give it a go. Let's put this into production, right? They're going to be producing over 100,000 ounces of gold per year. You better believe that they are going to want to buy SYLLA's project over here within the coming years. We don't want them to buy it now because the value is too low. But over the coming years, when they grow this market cap, to 5, 10, 20, 50, 100 million market cap, somewhere in that range, that's when we want them to buy it out. And you better believe they're going to want to, because they're going to have a producing mine right over here. And it is extremely feasible for them to simply take the ore that they're discovering right here, truck it over here. This is only 2 kilometers away. Truck it right here 2 or 3 kilometers to the mill that they're going to build and start producing it at the Kobata project. So this is a clear buyout candidate. We want to be investing in the one that is having the potential to get bought out, and that's Sila Gold. So what I want to do now is just talk about the team here that is behind this. This is a father-son team, the Eisners. I know them personally. I have met them in person. I've shaken their hands. I speak to them almost on a weekly basis. And when you look at the experience here that this team has, obviously Gregory Eisner has been in the business several decades longer than his son. But this father-son team, Gregory has been responsible for finding 3 separate gold mines in this region of West Africa. You look up here, he was responsible for Merrick's 2005 to 2017. And they discovered 2 significant gold deposits in that exact same part of Mali. These deposits have a resource approaching 2 million ounces of gold. And then he was also the CEO of Gilby Gold Exploration, and that discovery was placed into production by Nord Gold with a reported resource of 5 million ounces of gold right there in West Africa. So the Eisners, and Regan has been doing this for over a decade, and he was the past president of the Mining Society of Nova Scotia. So these guys have a lot of experience. They have clearly discovered mines before in this part of Mali and West Africa, and they are just getting ready to do it again with a company that has been extremely overlooked by the market and has a huge catch-up re-rate potential. I just want to talk about how this is going to look if you decide to buy shares in the open market. Remember, the shares are currently trading at 8 cents per share. If this goes to 15 cents per share or 30 cents per share, you're going to have very nice gains, 88% and 275%. I think this is extremely realistic because the company traded at these levels, 15 and 30 cents, just a few years ago. The company was almost overlooked by the market because there was a pause on mining exploration in Mali with the new government there. But I have seen the permits given to SYLLA that say they are good to go. They are good to start exploring again on this project. The whole industry is revamping back up. This is extremely feasible. Obviously there's downside risk with any company, right? A stock could go from 8 to 5 cents. You might be down 38% in a realistic scenario. But I think there's a lot more gain potential than risk potential if you're buying shares. I want to compare this. If you are going to join us in the private placement, you look at the total gain potential in the private placement, exact same company, Sila Gold. You compare the gain potentials. What is it? Why are we able to achieve gains much greater than the open market purchase, it's because, remember, we're buying shares at a discount. So if you can buy shares at 5 cents per share, you get these higher gains than if you're buying the same shares in the open market. And you also get that protection in the downside scenario because you're buying at 5. The other major contributor to the total gain is the warrants that we receive if you're going to buy in the open market with us. And they give you those warrants for free if you're going to participate with us in the private placement. Either way, I think SYLLA is going a lot higher over the coming years. But if you can do that minimum with us, remember, it's $10,000 Canadian for the minimum, then you should really join us in the private placement. If you're going to join us, the deadline is this Thursday, February 5th. No exceptions can be made. You can register for our service called Elite Private Placements right on the iGold Advisor website. We have negotiated the terms directly with Sila Gold. We have only a few openings left, so first come, first serve. You have to get registered by this Thursday, February 5th. That is in our service called Elite Private Placements. And I just want to let you know, we are absolutely destroying it here over the last several years. Look at this. Look at all the gains in the private placements that we have here over the course of the last 2 years. A 100% success rate on all of the investments that we have done. This one is already up over 100% just off the bat. If you do not take advantage of this, I can't help you in the future. These opportunities are very limited. I think once gold goes above 5,000, we are not going to have the opportunity to negotiate these incredible terms. So you've got to jump on this now if you want that possibility of changing your position in life. If you would like to join us in our open market buy and sell and all the trades that we are making, the service for you is called Precious Metals Intelligence Plus, and you receive videos just like you're seeing now, but much more in depth every single week. And then in that, we cover these other commodities and currencies. Remember, if you join us in the Elite Private Placements, you get a free subscription to our flagship Precious Metals Intelligence Plus. If you would like to sit down and discuss your situation with myself, Christopher Aaron, know that you can book a consultation right on our website. We sit down for 30 or 60 minutes, and I share with you exactly what I would do if I was in your situation, because everyone is in a different situation, and we have to consider the total sum of the factors that are relevant to your situation. So you can book that on our website. Guys, gold looks extremely healthy to me. Remember, to get back to the original point of this video, it's that I think that crash is over, that little mini crash from late last week. We saw gold decline over $1,000 in 24 hours. And I think that shook out a lot of people. A lot of the latecomers probably got scared and sold, right? But not you here, because you've been paying attention. I've been publishing for over 10 years. You've been paying attention this whole time. We still have a couple of incredible opportunities. I think gold is going higher over the rest of this year. And if you have enough capital available, we have a few of these openings left for companies like Sila Gold, where you can double your money just off the get-go. You've got to take advantage of these opportunities now, because later this year, I suspect that these opportunities are going to be gone. Thank you.